It's that time of the year. The apple harvest is in full swing. Here in Kilkenny, the pickers have arrived to begin their day. Of course, the Irish weather doesn't always play ball, so apple grower Anna Levesque has a decision to make.
On a day like this, we debate about picking or not, because when it rains that hard, the way the pickers have to pick, they tend to finger mark. And an apple finger marked is an apple lost.
But with the forecast a bit more promising for the rest of the day, Anna gives her crew the go-ahead.
Everybody come in, they know their rows, and they just crack on.
Anna comes originally from Brittany, but has been living here for the last 16 years. She now helps run this 55-acre orchard with her partner Philip Little, leased back in 1997.
Is this your favourite time of the year, harvest time?
Yeah.
Or not?
Yeah, this is bringing it in. This is a year's work. And it's a jigsaw puzzle. What variety are we going to go after today? You know, and every bin of apples that's picked and is put in the cold store, it's safe. Storm something isn't going to knock it all on the ground on me.
Now, you weren't born into an apple farm. You just loved growing apple trees, didn't you?
Yeah. I started off as a young farm manager. I've been growing commercial apples for the last 33 years, since 1988.
This land near Piltown in South Kilkenny is an area traditionally associated with the growing of fruit, particularly apples.
You have to grow the apples in the right part of the country with the right sort of little microclimates, and that's a big help. Growing it in a really exposed area, it doesn't help. That's why this area of South Kilkenny was so important. It is a really good dessert apple growing area.
Every year, Irish people spend around €130 million on apples, but 95% of these are imported. In recent times, the absence of Irish apples in our shops has become something of a hot topic, as the consumer becomes more concerned about food miles and impact on our carbon footprint.
The landscape has shifted so much with apple growing in Ireland, where we used to have like hundreds, if not thousands, of apple growers around the country, and we're now down to 40, which is, I think, astonishing, and only 5 of the 40 are actually selling into supermarkets. So that explains why there's so few Irish apples on the shelves in our supermarkets. When it comes up on social media, it's the one that gets people really vexed, I think, that they can't find Irish apples. So I think there is increased demand for Irish apples, and that's starting to filter through to growers, because we've had about 150 acres of new apple trees planted this spring alone, which is fantastic. But it's a very slow ship to turn around, because it's 5 years before you get any kind of an apple crop from a new tree. So it doesn't happen quickly. It takes a lot of investment.
Every day, 10 tonnes of apples are brought to cold stores in the village of Owning.
Apples can be stored 12 months of the year.
In the right conditions?
In the right conditions, in the right systems.
No apples go to waste. Even the bruised and the blemished find a home.
So these ones that, again, lovely apples, but some of them might have blemishes, some of them might have marks on them.
Plenty of blemishes,
Okay.
plenty of stuff on this. So these apples are going to Sunshine Juice in Carlow.
Are any apples wasted, Philip?
Nothing is wasted. Even the stuff that has come off the tree, that is on the ground in the orchard floor, gets picked up and sent for cider. And on top of that, not only does all the fruit get sold, it's a carbon positive crop to grow, because you're growing timber. The timber is getting mulched into the ground. The grass cuttings are all getting mulched into the ground for fertilizer for the trees as we go during the season. It's a beautiful crop.
As well as supplying supermarkets, farmers markets and cider makers, Philip and Anna are operating a box scheme called Neighbour Food, together with other food producers in the region.
From 5 to 8 or 5 to 7 during the winter, people collect a basket that they've ordered online. We're a group of 38 producers. We always team up with a good few colleagues from Middleton Market. So we have a lot of veg growers that we would have been working with before.
We kind of see everything here. That there's honey, there's eggs, there's garlic, there's veg, there's juices. And this all kind of came about because of COVID.
Yeah, it is, yeah. We went in lockdown with Middleton Farmers Market, and they started a hub in the cookery school. And it was a huge success for us down there, and we just decided we'd start one here in Owning. Plus, accessing local food in that part of the country is harder. So we thought it could tick not only the COVID box, but it's something we would like to see working in the long term.
With a number of new orchards being established around the country and growing interest from consumers, the prospects for Irish apples are looking better than at any time in the last 50 years.
You're passionate about apples. You have a young family. Do you hope that there is a future for them as apple farmers?
Well, young Josh, my little boy, 6 years of age, he was inside building something with his bricks. I said, Josh, are you going to be an engineer or a builder when you grow up? And he looks at me, no, Daddy, I want to be an apple grower, just like you. You know, it just blew me away because I realised the last 33 years of what I've been doing, and can we build on it? Can the kids come in on a business that is viable, that is sustainable, that works for everybody and the community and Ireland?
Are you hopeful for the future, Philip?
I am. For the first time in years, I am.
Good.